Good morning everyone. This morning we are going to be thinking about understanding percentages as fractions and decimals. So we're going to be thinking about what we've learned about fractions, what we've learned about decimals, and what we've learned about percentages so far, and use them all together. So the first thing I would like you to do is I would like you to watch this video from Khan Academy and then come back to me when you've finished, please. Okay, so what do we already know about the 100 square for fractions, decimals and percentages? So we know that a whole 100 square can equal 1 whole or 100%. Okay, so that is what we've learnt so far. And we know that each square can equal 1%, 0.01 or 1 over 100. Okay, so 100. So we need to remember this when we come to look at the next couple of slides. So what is a 100 square representing? So I've got a 100 square and some of my smaller squares have been shaded in. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work out how many squares have been shaded in. So I know that each column is 10, each row even is 10. So I'm going to count in my tens because they are all full rows. So I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So I've got 50 squares shaded in. Okay, so from what we know when we learned about fractions, we know that if we've got 50 squares shaded in, we've got 50 out of 100 shaded in as our fraction. 50 out of 100, so we've got 50 over 100. Then with my decimals, I know that that means I have got 0.50. So if you wanted to take that number and put it after your decimal place, that's fine. So remember, you can have 0.50 or you could have 0.5. And then your percentage. So you know that 50 squares are shaded in, and 50 is a half of 100, and a half as a percentage is 50%. Okay. For your fraction, you could also have 5 tenths. Okay, so remember before, I think last week we learned that a whole row filled in or a whole column filled in equal to 1/10 or 1 over 10. That means that we have got 5 tenths this time. Okay, so let's make that into a fraction. You might not be able to do this part for everyone, as you will see on the next slide, but if you can have a go at doing that, have a go. Okay, next slide, let's have a look. So we're going to do this again, but this time it's with a different type of number, so it's not a rounded number. So what is being represented? So first I need to work out how many squares I have got. So let me see what number these go up to. So they go up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they go to 5 across there. So I'm going to count in my 5s, and then I'm going to add these 2 on at the end. So I've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27. So I've got 27 squares shaded in. Okay. Now in your books, before I go through this, I would like you to have a go at doing this one. So find me the fraction, find me the decimal, and find me the percentage. Pause your video now while you do that. Okay, so as a fraction, we know we've got 27 squares shaded in out of 100 squares. So we've got 27 hundredths. Okay, then as a decimal we've got 0.27, so we've got 2 tenths and 7 hundredths. Okay, so if we had the columns, we would have 2 completely filled in and then 7 left over, so that's where our 2 and our 7 come from. And then as a percentage, we know percent means per 100. So I've got 27 per 100. So 27 per 100, so 27%. Just like that. Okay, well done if you got those right. So this is a style of question you will get today. Which is bigger, 56% or 57 out of 100? So what you are going to do is you're going to fill in your 100 square to help you. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to fill in 56% of this square. Okay, so 1, 2, in fact, because we know each one is 10, I can just do them all at a time. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, we're not doing 7, we're doing 56 to start with. So there's 56%. So I've shaded 56% of my square. Then it wants to ask me 57 over 100. Is that bigger? So let's do 57. So I've got one. Oh, let's do it in a different colour. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can now compare these, okay? So we can see that 57 has one more square shaded in. So we can see that it is bigger than 56%, okay? Let's try that with a different set of numbers. So let's say we've got 15% and we've got 25 or 35. In fact, we'll have 0.35. Okay, so first we're going to fill in 15%. So I've got 1. So I've got 10 there, sorry, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's my 15%. And then at the bottom I'm going to fill in 35%. So choose a new colour. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I can clearly see there that 0.35 shades in more of my 100 square than 15%. So I know that the largest to the biggest is 0.35. Okay, there is another way to do this, and that is to convert them to the same style of number, so a decimal, a fraction, or a percentage. Okay, and you will see that on the next slide, and then you can use that to help you with that as well. So now it's asking me to order. So you did a little bit of ordering earlier in the week, but this time you've got all three to use. So you've got fractions, percentages, and decimals to use. And here is your top tip from me. Convert all the numbers into the same way, e.g. all into decimals, all into fractions, or all into percentages. That will be the easiest way for you to be able to order them accurately and easily. Okay, so we're going to choose changing them all into a decimal. So I've got 2 over 100. So for this one I haven't got any tenths. If I had my 100 square, there would only be 2 boxes shaded in. So for this one I have 0.02. Okay, 0.02. And then for 67% I would have 67 boxes shaded, and I would have 6 tenths. So I've got 0.67. 45 over 100, I would have 45 boxes shaded in. I would have 4 full rows shaded, so that's 4 tenths. And then I would have 5 left over, so that's my 500ths. And then I have 0.43. And then, like Mrs. Willis showed you, I think Tuesday, it was helpful if you put them going down your page so you can see exactly what you are looking at. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go down our first column, which is our ones column, and we can see they're all 0, so that column doesn't help us yet. Then I can go down my tenths column and I can find the biggest number. So if we go in ascending order, it hasn't told us which way to do it, so we'll go in ascending order. So ascending means from smallest to largest. So I can see that 0 is my smallest tenth number, so I'm going to put this here first. Okay, then I can see I've got a 4 and a 4 in my tenths column, but that is, I can't put those in ascending order just using the tenths column, so I need to use a hundredths column now to help me. So they've both got 4 tenths, so this one has 5 hundredths and this one has 3 hundredths. So having 3 hundredths is smaller than having 5 hundredths. So this one, 0.43, would go next, then 0.45, then our last one, which has 6 tenths, would come at the end. And then we can go down and check them. So all of my ones have 0. In my tenths, do they go in ascending order? So I've got 0, 4, 4, 6. Yes, they are smallest to largest. Then I'm going to look at my hundredths. Are they in ascending order? So I've got 2, 3, 5, 7. Yes, they are. So is my answer correct? Yes, it is. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is convert them all to the same, put them going down your page in line with each other, and then you can order them nice and easily. Okay, so today you are doing week 2, lesson 4. It looks like this. Silver is question 1 to 5, gold is question 6 to 9, and platinum is on the next page for you. Okay, so where it normally is. If you need any help with anything, please let Mrs. Willis and I know. There is a learning by questions for you all to do today, and we look forward to seeing how well you get on with that as well. Don't forget you can mark your answers as well, so you can see how well you're doing, and Mrs. Willis and I can see how well you are doing. Okay, thank you.